Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Asmi Jain, and I'm delighted to serve as today's program coordinator. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the very first day of this FTP on practical aspects of ICT tools and online teaching in current scenario, where we have the privilege of learning from the immensely knowledgeable Dr. Shresth Chabra sir. This event has been thoughtfully organized by the Research Foundation of India in collaboration with Shodh Malwa, Parel University, Gujarat, Eklavya University, JHRF, ARGA, and Edu Academic Inc. Before we begin this event, I'm honored to introduce the Research Foundation of India and shed light on its mission and operations. RFI is dedicated to social upliftment, enhancing higher education quality, and promoting Indian research globally. It organizes international and national conferences, seminars, workshops, and symposiums to integrate intellectual ideas and foster innovation. Committed to scholarly inquiry and the practical application of research, RFI collaborates with top Indian universities through MOUs. Its members include distinguished faculty, researchers, and professionals across various disciplines. With more than 100 chapters in India and about 50 plus chapters in other Asian countries, RFI has hosted over 1,000 international conferences worldwide, contributing significantly to academic excellence and research development. Notably, RFI operates independently without government financial sponsorship. Now, without any further delay, I am pleased to introduce our esteemed session expert for today, Dr. Shresh Chabra sir. Sir is an associate professor at the DC Business School Indore. He brings over 23 years of teaching experience across multiple academic levels. Holding a PhD, he has a strong international presence through numerous publications in reputed journals, conferences, and newspapers. Beyond academia, Sir actively contributes to global research, serving as a reviewer for esteemed journals like the Global Journal of Labor South Africa and the Journal of HRM USA. He is also on the editorial boards of prestigious international journals. His mentorship extends to Startup India, BeIncube Chhattisgarh, and various research organizations. A dedicated leader, he frequently chairs sessions at national and international conferences and contributes to FDPs and MDPs for institutions like the IMA and MSME. Recognized for organizations such as the Rotary Club and MIT Business School, Sir continues to inspire through his impactful contributions to academia and professional development. With this, I humbly invite Sir to take over the session. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you, Asmi ma'am. Uh, Very good evening to all, one and all who are present over here. All respected members of my RFI family, especially Saurabh sir, Ajay Jain sir, Asmi ma'am, Yograj ji, and all colleagues of mine. We have joined us from different places in this country. So I welcome you all on this day 1 of this FTP. And today we have with us a special guest. When this topic was given to me, responsibility of teacher, I actually was, if I tell you very honestly, I was perplexed. I was a bit confused on this idea. What should I talk to my respected colleagues who have been teachers, either young or they have aged themselves as teachers? What should I talk to them as responsibility? What type of responsibility are they carrying? Type and but I would put in some thoughts together, which you would be talking to through this session. And before we start with a so-called, so there is nothing as do's and don'ts from my side. I would be just trying to share with you what have been my experiences over these years. And to start with this session, we have with us Mrs. Neha Sharma ma'am. Neha ma'am has been into various, after her post graduation in business management, she has worked with various organizations, and her 7 years long career has been with Schindler Australia and Schindler India as well. wherein she rose from a level of o- an office executive to the only girl managing, or the only female who has been managing the project manager in the entire Schindler Australia. Uh, when after she came back to India, she was she was trying to look out for something which is very meaningful, and that's how she got into and to become an edu entrepreneur. So it's our it's good of her that despite of the fact that she might not be feeling well, as she was telling me today, but she has made her to for us to my request. Good evening, Neha ma'am, and welcome to this first day of FDP program.
Good evening, sir, and thank you so much, RFI, for having me here. It's an honor.
So kind of you, Neha ma'am. Neha ma'am, won't take much of your time because of your health. Only two or three question as an edu entrepreneur. Since our topic is responsibility of teacher, so only two or three. Since you have been into this field, you came from a different background. You chose be an edu entrepreneur. You are enterprising in education now these
Mm.
days. It has been 11 years that you know. So you know I would ask about two or three important concepts that we talked during our conversations. You introduced this idea of mother teacher. So if you can please elaborate on this idea.
Um, Thank you for the question. Mother teacher, sir, I'm not going to say anything which you don't know already. But because of the fellow colleagues that who have joined this program, I'll try and explain in my own words. We have got a concept of mother teacher at a certain level of education. We call them pre-primary kids. So they have just come out of their home. They have been with their mothers, and now they are out in the world, and the first place they go out to is a school. And we have put in this concept that all our teachers should be trained enough to be called themselves as the mothers, because that's how they can connect to the kids. And unless the kids are connected to a teacher, they won't be able to learn anything from you, right? So at that early age, we want teachers to act as a mother, and that's how we call them a mother teacher concept.
Great, ma'am. Means see, this applies at a certain level of education. Now, since we are talking about higher education institution, how do you see
Yes.
this concept of mother teacher in higher education?
See, I think everybody would agree with me on this point that at a certain stage we do need our mother, and we do need mothers at all stages of life, no matter how old are we. But we don't usually take all the instructions and uh, uh, all the help from mothers after a certain age, call it a teenage. So soon after that we have got a different family, a family of friends, right? We take inputs from our friends once we get into that teenage. So, what I think is when the kids go to the higher education, like to all the colleagues who are teaching in colleges now or a bigger institute, they should act as a friend teacher, rather than a mother teacher, because no one wants a scolding by mother after a certain age. Gone are the days when the teachers are very strict, and like in the era of 50s 60s I'm talking. But even in our school time and college time, we always had professors and lecturers as our friends more than the strict ones. So this friendship, the bond where kids will feel comfortable to tell their problems, not just about scholastic problems, even apart from education, they should be able to share their general questions and fears, and they should be able to talk to the teachers. So I think after a certain age, teachers are required to behave or work as a friend as well.
That's great, ma'am. That's great. Ma'am, two more questions to bother you. Uh,
No, please don't say like that. I know you know more than me.
no, 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 ma'am,
It's
ma'am,
just
absolutely.
my personal
Uh,
experience, what I have felt.
ma'am, ma'am, see, I have got, you being an entrepreneur into education, you have got a differential idea. And owing to this, I would ask you two more questions for that, for the benefit of everyone. One, uh, in at any level of education, there are three important pillars in education: the students, who are the beneficiaries, the
Yeah,
parents, and obviously the management and the teachers. So
right.
this three pillars, how have you created a balance between these three as a head of the institution? I'm asking, as a owner of the
Um,
institution.
See, I think it's mainly what the first word of the um, today's topic is responsibility, right? So everyone should be given responsibility. The management should be responsible of hiring correct people for the correct job and giving them a correct, a scenario that this is how this place works and this is how you would be helping us here, right? And the teachers should be able to understand their own responsibilities, that apart from teaching, where all places they would be helping. And once the responsibilities are clear, I think there should not be any issue between the other two links. What parents want is a good place where kids can get educated. What kids want is, a good place where they can find good friends, a nice atmosphere. So all these things can be done for the beneficiaries, the parents and the kids, is um, only possible when the management and the teachers, they are on the same page. They should be on the same wavelength. They should understand what this institution is meant for and what we are providing and how it should be delivered. So once the responsibilities are clear, I think it's easier to deliver what they promise.
That is great, ma'am. Ma'am, one final question to you.
Yep.
Your philosophy, regarding your philosophy that you have practiced over all these years: eat your frog.
Yes. Yes, it's very bad when you say that. And the people who don't know about it, eating a frog is the worst thing anybody could do. Uh, like I'm a pure vegetarian, and when I talk about eating a frog, it's not at all in any literal sense. It's just it's the worst thing that you think you could do, but this is the first thing you should do. Like when you go for a work, you woke up in the morning, you got dressed, and you are going for your job. The first thing you should do at your job, at any workplace, is to do the toughest thing, the hardest thing that you think you could not do it. And all those things that that you were piling up, you were thinking that one day or someday I would be finishing them. I think that is the most important thing that you should do right now. So you should eat your frog as the first thing when you get a chance. Don't delay it. So once you do it, rest of the day, rest of the month, maybe you'll have better things to do. Get more creative because that burden would be gone. So I know it's hard. I have been practicing, but I know it's hard. And what you have to do, have to do. No one else would be doing it if you're not doing it. So it's better to, get it done. So yeah, please eat your frogs.
Thank you, ma'am. So kind of you to have spared this time with us, despite of your health issues. So thank you very much, ma'am. It was
And
great having you on
thank
this
you so
platform.
much, sir. Thank you, RFI.
Okay, so thanks to Neha ma'am for her inputs, and with this basic ideas, let us start on what I have to share with you as far as the responsibility. And as I told you, it won't be as I what Neha ma'am was also invited for is the idea that It's more of an experiential learning that we do, rather than lecturing around what to do, what not to do. So that's what we understand, that it's not just a responsibility, it's just a responsibility. It's not just a profession. So teaching should be more than a profession. It's a responsibility to carry on. I'm pretty sure that with 5th September approaching, many of us would be getting at least, or Guru Purnima, which has passed by. Many of us would have got this e-card, or a message from some of our past students saying that that you are a guru, and you have got they feel actually they have improved in themselves because of us. So, with all respect to all our gurus who have taught us, or whom we are, whom all those students who treat us as gurus, this is what I would like to share with you, and then we dive into something more about it. So, have a look at this video. This is something which you talk to us about, that why probably we deserve, or any of our gurus deserve such type of good things when it comes to being a teacher.
What's up? How you doing? All right, guys. To Kill a Mockingbird, Chapter 2. Open up your books. Hey, John. I really think you're going to enjoy this one. All right, John. What's going on? Just listen. Kill a Mockingbird, Chapter 1. Hello?
Hey, it's John. Sorry to call you so late, miss.
What's going on?
Can I ask a question about tonight's homework?
Of course.
So that's how probably we might have made. I'm pretty sure that all teachers, we understand this thing, and you would appreciate this idea that we all have made some extra effort in someone's life. We all have made some contribution to some students' life, that they know, that they still appreciate about it. So that is where that is the reason I started talking about this, that it is not just a profession, it's a responsibility. And that is what we carry from here on, that as a responsibility, what are we supposed to do? And if you look into if you look into your screen, there would be many things that would be appearing on your screen. I'm not going to explain each and every point of yours. Few points I would pick up from that thing, that there have been times where things were not too good with us. We were equally pressed with other needs, but since we have we can't miss, and there is a tomorrow an important assignment, there is tomorrow an important class test that we might have announced, a student can skip but a teacher won't. Okay, so you have somehow balanced it. You might have taken all the pain to travel in without even a reservation, because at the last moment you somehow missed that reservation. So you traveled without a reservation, you ended up taking a class. You might have been walking, you might have been you might have a sleepless night, but you are straight landing up in the class, and you decide that okay, I would have sleep uh, the next night. So it's okay that that we understand that everything, your son or daughter might not be well keeping well, but you understand that there is an important lecture that you need to deliver, or a revision lecture that you might have promised to students. There would be some students who would be coming up after a long time to see you because of something, some reasons, and you have announced a makeup type of class for everyone, so that the students get a good grade. So at times you have to, you may be asking 10 times home that have you taken medicine, have you done this, have you done that, but you are still delivering a lecture. So that's how we all as teachers, we have been balancing things between our personal, professional, and other responsibilities. It's not just the professional responsibility of being in a class or teaching in a class. No, it's also about administrative responsibilities that we carry about. It's also about the moral responsibility of teaching that we carry about a student, clarifying their doubts. You can always say that, come on, this is not what I'm, I would be using a harsh word, this is not what I'm paid for. Okay. But this comes automatically being a teacher, that what I was what you would have heard a term that mother instinct. Okay, once you are a mother, you get that instinct, you develop yourself for that mother nature blesses you with that instinct. So as a teacher also, you should be blessed with that instinct, that you should be keeping everything aside. It's the student, it's the class, it's the your moral responsibility and compass is a longer one rather than your professional income encompass. But having said all these things, things are not rosy always. Okay, things do not go always good as a teacher. I'm not trying to paint anything, please understand. Okay, I'm just trying to narrate to you some of the ideas, some of the challenges which either we all of us might have faced at some point of our life as a teacher, or if you are young, then you might be facing them. People are differently wired. Try and understand it this way. People have, because they are not able to get what they deserve. Hence, what they do is that they started getting, the least deserving are the most problematic. So, what they would do, they would try and get it very different ways. Okay, they would try and get it through different ways, and most of the one of the easiest way to get is to get it through politics. Okay, so backbiting, showing your chats to HODs, recording your calls and passing it on to HODs. And the worst thing is that even students, at times, they involve students also in politics. Okay, that they push students against a certain colleague or against a certain teacher. So that's the worst thing that you might have noticed. If not, then thankful you are, you are safe. I still remember a case towards the beginning of my career. A young man, with joined me from industry as a teacher. He was starting almost his career as a teacher. Based on the subject allocation, he was given a subject that a so-called senior teacher was teaching. Okay. Now, this senior teacher went on to talk to. So this senior teacher went on to talk to the head of the department, that why I am not given this subject and why this young boy has been given this subject. So he explained his own idea that that's how people outgrow themselves and things like that. That I'm not getting into those details. So what happened was that later on, this so-called experienced person, she started involving the students. She passed on a message to students like this subject, it's very critical for your career. And I hope that this subject could have been uh, taught by someone senior like me. But it's okay, he's also might be a good teacher. He also comes with some experience in industry. So I'm pretty sure that he would do justice with this subject. So one of the students asked, ma'am, who was the one who was teaching it till last year? And she said, obviously it was me, no one else. And that was a devastation. Okay, you're done your job. Teach, they came with an application of change of the teacher and this and that. So that's a ridiculous thing. And this is not just one of the cases. There have been many cases which I have uh, known to through various sources at various institutions, that how students are involved into to gain an advantage. Okay, or to gain an advantage over other people. So backbiting, complaints, telling people, so in this technological era, be very safe about what you are saying, what you are doing types. Okay, I've seen those cases happening. So people go and tell your chats or Instagram posts or your Facebook post and go and tell to the bosses that, see, that is how, this gentleman is trying to relate. I still remember one of a very classical case. Uh, now this there was an I should not use the word argument, but there was some disagreement between a colleague of mine and the boss. Okay. Now, what he did was that he forwarded a post. Facebook, I'm talking about 5 years hence. Facebook was a very popular social media then. Okay. So he posted that as a forward group, that if you are engaged, don't get engaged in an argument with a pig, because you don't understand that you are getting you are getting into mud and the pig is enjoying it. You are getting dirty and the pig is enjoying it. Something like this, the post read. uh, and it went okay. You forward some post and things like that. So the another person went on to the boss and said on his laptop that, sir, have you looked into what he has posted? And he said, why I should look into? Is there something of concern? And he said, sir, see, 3 days back, you had a disagreement with this young man, and now he has posted on that, uh, if you fight with a pig, then he is enjoying and you are getting dirty. Well, sir, in that sense, he's calling you a pig. What more do you want from the boss? So, to that extent, I've seen politics going around. That to that extent, people do politics. Okay, obviously, the competition has heated up. There are many universities which have come up. They are still, opening up colleges. As I'm sorry to say this, but education has become a business. And when I say this, I mean by that everyone wants to open a college. Every other person who has some money who sees that, okay, what I can do is that I would open a college. Now, once you open a college, you have to get customers students at any cost. And when you are trying to get students at any cost, you are trying to make them customers. You are trying to reduce them to customers. I better let me use this part. Why I'm saying that you are trying to reduce them as a customer, because as I told you, as a customer, you have got a service delivery, and then we share a professional relation. Whereas as a student, you are my moral responsibility. And we all would agree this idea that a moral responsibility is far, far better than a professional responsibility, because there is something which is personalized, or you would walk a mile extra because of your moral responsibility, not because of your professional responsibility. Professional responsibility has many black and white types, okay, but moral responsibility has many things which are blurred in that idea. So the sorry part of the state is that students are promised huge and heavy, okay, anything and everything, probably to get that admission. And the marketing department would do all this thing and hand over the students to you, to the academics. And once the student finds that there is a gap between what was promised and what is getting delivered, he or she would leave the organization or leave the institution or withdraw the admission. And in the meetings, you would be called up to answer this thing that tell me how this many students left. Okay, the marketing guy won't tell any time that this is what all promised, because he's sitting on the revenue. So whether we like it or not, okay, students are getting reduced to customers. This is point number one. The idea number two is that despite of us being a teacher, or the general scenario, if you look into, we are driven by the idea of consumerism. Okay, and the idea of consumerism says that, okay, you are you know if you say to, if the parent talks to a son or a daughter, he would say that go ask your teacher, he would explain you 10 times. After all, we pay the fee. So look into that idea of a young boy or girl being trained at the home to say that since you pay the fee, you have a right to this. Okay, see, I worked with bosses who used to tell me that a good teacher may not deserve a good student, but even an average student deserves a good teacher. So remember, so there is a marked difference between the two philosophies. So that is, as on this teacher platform, I would request at least every one of us to at least try and teach our generation a respect for the teacher. Okay, you're paying the fees. No, no, that's not. I'm not denying that. We all are paying fees for our kids, but that does not makes them a customer. Okay, and as I told you, to link with it are the demands of management, and the demands can be varied and various. You know, administrative responsibility. You've been asked to pitch into admissions. Since you teach marketing, so why can't you do admissions? Even if you are not teaching marketing, so why don't you help us in admissions? What would you be doing once there is a semester break? So how do you justify your salary once in a semester break? So if we don't earn the revenue, how are we going to share the revenue with you? Many things like. And I tell you of soundingly absurd thing that a teacher was called up by management to say that, okay, tell me, how many jokes do you crack in in an hour class? So he asked them that, what do I mean by this? That how many jokes were cracked during the class? And he said that you don't know. Like say you must have at least, how would you make your lecture interesting? So he told them the way that I would include case study, role plays, and this and that and whatnot. He tried explaining it for another 5-7 minutes, and he would say, "Sir, please include some of sensible jokes type, okay? Because at least after this all stress and everything, the kids should laugh." I'm not denying that thing, but you need to reflect on this. That including jokes. See, if you say that, how you can make the uh, delivery interesting, that is another idea. If you say that, how many times do you joke in the class? Probably, I don't know what you are exactly asking. Okay. And as I started with telling you, that how are you trying to manage the work life balance type? Okay. Your family might have other requirements. You, as a teacher, your work pressures would have other requirements. So at times you also think that majority of the times your administrative responsibilities eat up your time. Okay, and I'm known to certain so-called universities where the primary work of an head of the department is to see that no teacher is free. Okay, so 9 to 5 job means it should be compulsory that you should be engaged for all 9 to 5. Do activities, do this, do that. They are interested in numbers. Okay, so they are purely driven by numbers. They're not looking into anything that is the quality of delivery or this or that. That's a different scene. Okay, and when it comes to appraisal, then they would create all the issues around qualities. Then they would talk about your job, your primary job, the teaching job. How many newer examples have you given? So one of the teacher called me up and said, "Sir, uh, I don't get much time to read. So how can I, do something great or innovative in my teaching or something? I'm been kept busy for all the work long. And after this, I actually feel tired once I'm back home. Then I'm a working mother, so I have got kids at home, my husband sitting at home. So they all have expectations as a family to me to do that. So what should I try to do about it? And this is not one just story. These are many stories around over that thing. The problem also is that some people are so much engaged in the work, and some people find themselves truly, free from work. Okay, they have got least to do because they have some reference in management, they have some insights in things, or they don't do things that better. So at times management finds this as excuse that since you do things better, so every time it's your turn to do things, because we cannot give it to novice. They would spoil the entire scene and this that. And what all after this, as I was telling you, all your pap karmas or all your sins, okay, I refer to it as sins, would be told to you or created once you sit in the appraisal meeting. So you would be, made to realize that, see, these are all your sins that you might have done all over the year, and still I am giving you a 5% hike. Okay, despite of all your sins. So you would, you would feel like blessed, because at least I'm not being chucked out of the job. Okay, and you would be wondering that what I was doing for the entire year. Okay, there are many jobs that you can't, or many works that you can't quantify. Okay, but you have done those jobs, so you can't quantify those jobs. But they would be asking, they would be doing your appraisal on the quantifiable things. Okay, so what is been, they proudly talk that okay, this is a so-called corporate job where you have got time to log in but no time to log out. Good, so then pay me a salary of equivalent to corporate. No, that they won't give you. Okay, so they there's a good saying which says that if you throw peanuts you get only monkeys. And they're happy, they are least bothered about your turnover rates. They're happy about your turnovers, that okay, you're leaving, not an issue, please go ahead and leave. Okay, so that's something which is okay with them. And finally, you have got, on the top of everything, you are your primary job is to teach, and the sad part is that you have got inattentive students who have been promised a degree. They are being, taking care, they are just being here to get a degree. They are not interested in knowledge. You have worked hard over, you have burned your midnight lamp to develop a case study or search a good case study for them and whatnot. And they just, they treat it as an unseen passage. So many a time such negative strokes from the parents or from the students would actually demoralize. Okay, this all that. But this is, something, and I'm pretty sure you can add more to this list. Okay, but is teaching so bad as a profession? Then why I started talking about that it's not a profession, it's a responsibility. Despite of all this thing, let's understand the last idea. Answer to this to yourself, that what are you like? Are you, by here for by a choice or by a compulsion? Okay, answer yourself. Answer yourself this first question, that are you here by choice or by compulsion? And answer it to yourself, not to anyone. I'm not, asking for anyone to answer this thing or to raise your hand and say that okay, I'm by choice or I'm by compulsion. No, nobody would agree that by they joined in this profession because of compulsion. But was it that, that you had, nothing significant to do at home, so rather than getting bored, you are joined certain institution? I'm pretty sure that if that has not happened, because if that is what is the scene, that you, by any compulsion, by any chance or by any compulsion, if you are carrying on this job, then obviously this is something which is not there for you. Okay, you won't then, you won't be able to do any profession. Forget teaching. Okay, forget about moral responsibility. You can't take even as a profession. Okay, so if that is for a choice, then the first thing would apply. That try and understand the situation, try and understand. At times, you may feel that the student have irritated you. Okay, I was just mentioning. So try and understand from their viewpoint also, try and understand from their perspective also. Don't try just to be, understood. In psychology and behavior, we have got a term called as projection, where you try to project that when I was a student, I was this sincere, you are this, no, you are this, and I was this. Stop all these projections. Never forget that it may be any time in your say in your career. You might have experienced for any time in your career. Say I'm sitting here in front of you with 24 years of experience, but never forget this thing that just 24 years ago you were sitting on that table. Okay, the across one. You were a part of those benches. Never forget that. Because if you don't forget that, you would always have an empathy. You would always, always be able to connect better with the students. And it's not that you would be always, successful every time. Different batches would give you different type of experiences, or different batches would give you a different type of understanding. Create a fresh approach towards every batch. Your examples, uh, your study material, your cases, your this, that, everything. You should keep yourself updated on these things. Okay. If you try and say something, I was talking to a soul guru few days back. Went to an ashram with one of my friends, and I was, fortunate that he came along, and he said that since you are a teacher, you know it all types might be, but let me tell you something that you need to have, you need to practice well. Okay, as a teacher, you need to practice well, and what you need to practice well is that before you preach, try and get it yourself. Okay, try and imbibe those qualities before you actually preach, because that would create some effect, or what when you say something that would create, because it's it's that it's a worship. Teaching is still considered as a noble profession, so it's always better that you preach something that you practice. Okay, so preaching and practice. And for example, if you are trying to say that you should remain, your student should remain updated, or your student should do some online course, or this course or that course. Have you done one? If I may ask you, okay, please don't answer it to me on this public platform. It's okay. And I'm not asking to embarrass any one of you, to all any one of my respected colleagues, but please understand this thing. How many of us have actually done a course in last 6 months, or enrolled in a course like in the last 6 months? We all have, this is one good thing after COVID, that we all have uh, access to online portals, Swayam and NPTEL, and various other private portals also, which offer us very very precise type of certificate courses. Have you, before you started preaching this to a student, have you adopted any of such courses? Ask yourself this thing, because we need to understand that besides everything, it's because you are here by choice, it becomes your duty. Okay, dharma, I'm not translating it as religion. Dharma is translated as the duty. It's your duty to provide the best, or to offer the best to your student. We all have, we all have kids. I'm pretty sure if, or many of us have kids. Let me put it this way. How would you want the teacher, or how would you want the student, the school or the college to treat your son or daughter? Obviously in the best way. So same responsibility lies on you, of the many parents who are trusting you as their career providers, as their gurus, because it becomes your duty, utmost sacred duty, that you perform, or you try and deliver the best that you can. Okay, because still, wherever you move in the society, we all have that somebody looks up to us, somebody still sees that there is a nobility which is still there in this profession, there is something which is good in this profession. We parents connect with us, talk about their what are my student or my son or daughter should do after such class. And remember, when you advise them, you are actually trying to talk to them about about a career wherein this person would be spending rest of almost 30-40 years of his precious life. Okay, so think about it. What is the type of responsibility that we are carrying out? And for heaven's sake, many teachers complain this thing that sir, this system is not good, they don't allow anything, they don't have appreciation, they don't give credit, they don't do this, they don't do that, and various things. My point is that try and get over with this helplessness. Okay, who makes organization? Does the four walls or a roof would make an organization? The idea is no. It's people like you and me. It's the policies. We all have our own constraints. We all have our own limitations. So has the system also. So try and connect with that idea. Many institutions don't offer any type of incentives on research. Let's talk about it. But for their NAC, NRIF, and whatnot, they need research from the faculties. What would you do? You would do research, because that's what they have made a point first day on the clear. So don't do research because you are obliging them. Do a research because your research one would add to your CV first. Okay, then it would help organization. Two, it would make your further job prospects better, your promotion in the organization better. Three, if you research things, you read things, you would attain that mastery in your jobs. So you would be able to give better examples in the class. So that would be an add-on into your profession. And overall, finally, remember this thing that we all want to and we all strive to make some effort to, so that we can make a difference in the student who is sitting in front of us. I'm pretty sure that each one of you who has assumed this responsibility as a guru would definitely and is definitely trying to strive something. You might have done, you might have walked an extra mile for your student. Okay, you might have discounted his age, you might have discounted his behavior, you might have taken many things on your face, so that your students can do well. And before I show you my last video, I still remember what my director used to tell me. Sarvat Jai Machade. Every person wants that wherever he or she goes, they stand as a winner. Okay, no one wants to be a loser. Sarvattam Jayamachade. But along with that, you as a teacher, we also have one more desire. Putran Shishyan Parajayat. If we get defeated, we get defeated by our siblings, or means our daughter or son, or our students. And history has proven this for every one of us, that we have produced, or history has produced great students of great great gurus, have produced or given great gifts to this world in form of this uh, uh, in form of their teaching or their coaching. So with this, I I'm not won't say concluding my session. I take you towards the end of this thing and have a look at this. And before this, I have got a small question with you. Uh, I have got a small question with you, and here it comes up. Give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, so here comes a small question for all of you. Please, try and answer this question. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty easy one. Uh, Identify this respected person on your screen. Any one of you can please answer this. The name is already on the screen. So identify this respected person on the screen. Anyone, please? You can speak up, please. Anyone who can identify this gentleman?
Ramakant
Ramakant.
Achrekar,
Archrekar. Great. And how do you know Ramakant Archrekar, sir?
Guru of Sachin Tendulkar.
That's great. So I believe my message is clean and clear to you. Okay. So, great gurus have produced or gifted us with great students who have, that's what my point was, that if I lose either to my siblings or to my students. So great gurus have produced great students. And that is how I would take you only to 2 more minutes of yours and have a look at this, to sum up all that what we have been discussing so far. I'm sorry, the screen sharing is giving some issues. Okay, let's start.
I remember when I decided to be a teacher, thinking it'd be easy, because I just spent the last 15 years in school surrounded by these people trying to teach me. Most of my life has been in school. This job will be breezy. I'd make jokes with kids, share lots of stories, transform lives, make them fall in love with books, perfect my teacher looks, and ensure every kid thrives. It's school. I mean, I'm kind of a fool, but how hard can it be? I think a lot of people believe this job would be easy. But then in my first year, that kid who I poured my heart into dropped out. And it became clear that my jokes didn't carry enough clout. And I had that one class that was so loud that I had to shout. I told myself I would never be that teacher. That's not what I'm about. But then after that moment, I felt my first self-doubt. I remember when that parent burst into my room demanding that I boost her child's grade. And she called me a liar when I told her how he behaved. And that school grade came back that said our work was deficient, and pressure from the district would be applied until all of our students scored proficient. How do you teach a kid when their belly is empty, or teach work ethic to students who come from plenty? I thought I'd instantly be a master at leading students who are willing and able, but they stare at their phones under the table. I remember my first class had over 30 kids in the room. And that number doubled for teachers when school was moved to Zoom. Yet the expectation is excellence for those standardized tests that loom. And here I was thinking I'd be a gardener trying to help some flowers bloom. Teaching isn't easy. But when that other student who was fighting bleak odds walked across the graduation stage to a deafening applause, I couldn't help but tear up as I sat here in awe and realized there really is something special about this job. Standardized tests and school grades can still cause me misery, but few things compare to when our students are achieving victory, like watching them read for the first time, or discovering that math problem is a hill that they can climb. or finding the bravery to speak up in class and deliver a line, or getting a letter from them years later telling you that you helped them shift their paradigm. When a kid falls in love with reading, or students have deep discussions without your pleading, or you can make them see that when it comes to succeeding, there is no ceiling. You're reminded that this career is one worth leading. There's parts of the education system that can cause so much strife, yet there's parts of being an educator that can give you so much life. So if you're not a teacher, just know that this work is challenging, and lend your support. And remember who all of their work is for. Our kids, our community, our society. It's for all of us. And if you are an educator, may you discover the joy often hidden beneath the surface, and find those moments that make this demanding work worth it. And feel relieved of this pressure to always be perfect, and know that there are many of us who appreciate your service. And may everyone watching this recognize and support it.
So that's all from my side. That's all, what I wanted to talk to you today evening. Thank you for your precious time. If you have got any questions, any comments, if you want to share something, please feel free to do so.
Are there any questions, anybody? Any doubts?
Or if you have got any reflections to share, or you want to comment on something, please feel free to do so.
If there are no doubts, then, sir, can we end this session?
Yes, please, ma'am. Yes, please. So before we end this session, heartfelt thanks to all my respected colleagues who took out the time for, out of I understand that you have been working for the entire day, and then in the evening when you might be at your home working, preparing for something more, then you join up a session, and this shows your commitment. This shows your this actually shows that your what I should say, the purity of your purpose. Okay. That you want to go far, you want to talk about something, you want to learn something more, and that's what I was talking about. That if you are taking your pain, then you would obviously end up doing this for you can teach tomorrow to better to your kids, not by anything more, but uh, the behavior that one develops, okay, of perseverance and on keeping that patience. I actually understand that after being teacher for so long, it is very difficult to be on the other side of the table and listen to people, but you did it very patiently for this entire hour. So I thank you, every one of you, and hope to see you in with different session on and at some different point of time. Thanks to my entire RFI family, including the program conductor, Asmi Jain ma'am. Special thanks to Saurabh sir and Ajay sir, RFI Yograj ji, because of whom this entire show has been put in one place, and you are me and interacting. Once again, thank you everyone, and have a great evening ahead.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, sir.
sir, for
Thank
such
you.
a enlightening and engaging session. So we are truly grateful not only for the valuable insights that you shared, but also for inviting Dr. Neha. I would also like to extend my sincere gratitude to all the participants for their active involvement. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Asmi ma'am. Thank you.
So,
Thank you,
how will
everyone.
the attendance be marked for the today's session?